Hey scholars, happy Monday. So today I'm going to read a story to you by Vera B. Williams, and the title of this book is A Chair for My Mother. And the skill focus today is going to be I can make a prediction. Now we can make predictions before reading, during reading, and then we can also check our predictions after reading. I am going to share something with you on Seesaw in a second, but first, take a look at this title, A Chair for My Mother, and look at this cover. Look at the illustration. What do you predict this is going to be about? What do you think might happen in this story? And now, when you go on Seesaw, you're going to see this nice visual here that talks about predictions. And it says a prediction is a guess using text or picture clues as to what is happening in the book. We make predictions before reading. We think about the title, illustrations, and sometimes do a picture walk. Number 2, during reading, and number 3, after reading. So we're going to focus first on before reading. And you are going to fill this out before you listen to the rest of the story. So please make sure you do that. Before reading, I predict that A Chair for My Mother will be about. So using this cover and the title, what do you predict this story will be about? You'll put that here on the line. What do you predict that it'll be about? And then number 2, I think this because. Okay, so what was it about the title? What did you see in the illustration that makes you think, oh, okay, this is what I think it's going to be about? All right, A Chair for My Mother. A Chair for My Mother by Vera B. Williams. To the memory of my mother, Rebecca Porringer Baker. My mother works as a waitress in the Blue Tile Diner. After school sometimes I go to meet her there. Then her boss, Josephine, gives me a job too. I wash the salts and peppers and fill the ketchups. One time I peeled all the onions for the onion soup. When I finish, Josephine says, "Good work, honey," and pays me. And every time I put half of my money into the jar. It takes a long time to fill a jar this big. Every day when my mother comes home from work, I take down the jar. My mama empties all her change from tips out of her purse for me to count. Then we push all of the coins into the jar. Sometimes my mama's laughing when she comes home from work. Sometimes she's so tired she falls asleep while I count the money out into piles. Some days she has lots of tips. Some days she has only a little. Then she looks worried. But each evening, every single shiny coin goes into the jar. We sit in the kitchen to count the tips. Usually Grandma sits with us too. While we count, she likes to hum. Often she has money in her old leather wallet for us. Whenever she gets a good bargain on tomatoes or bananas or something she buys, she puts by the savings and they go into the jar. Ooh, this page got a little ahead of me. There we go. When we can't get a single other coin into the jar, we're going to take out all the money and go and buy a chair. Yes, a chair. A wonderful, beautiful, fat, soft armchair. We will get one covered in velvet with roses all over it. We are going to get the best chair in the whole world. That is because our old chairs burned up. There was a big fire in our other house. All our chairs burned. So did our sofa and so did everything else. That wasn't such a long time ago. My mother and I were coming home from buying new shoes. I had new sandals. She had new pumps. We were walking to our house from the bus. We were looking at everyone's tulips. She was saying she liked red tulips, and I was saying I liked yellow ones. Then we came to our block. Right outside our house stood two big fire engines. I could see lots of smoke. Tall orange flames came out of the roof. All the neighbors stood in a bunch across the street. Mama grabbed my hand and we ran. My Uncle Sandy saw us and ran to us. Mama yelled, "Where's Mother?" I yelled, "Where's my grandma?" My Aunt Ida waved and shouted, she's here, she's okay. Don't worry." Grandma was all right. Our cat was safe too, though it took a while to find her. But everything else in our whole house was spoiled. Let's see if I can get the What was left of the house was turned to charred ashes. We went to stay with my mother's sister, Aunt Ida, and our Uncle Sandy. Then we were able to move into the apartment downstairs. We painted the walls yellow and the floors were all shiny, but the rooms were very empty. The first day we moved in, the neighbors brought pizza and cake and ice cream. And they brought a lot of other things too. The family across the street brought a table and 3 kitchen chairs. The very old man next door gave us a bed from when his children were little. My other grandpa brought his beautiful rug. My mother's other sister, Sally, had made us red and white curtains. Mama's boss, Josephine, brought pots and pans, silverware and dishes. My cousin brought her own stuffed bear. Everyone clapped when my grandma made a speech. "You are all the kindest people," she said, "and we thank you very, very much. It's lucky we're young and can start all over." That was last year, but we still have no sofa and no big chairs. When Mama comes home, her feet hurt. "There's no good place for me to take a load off my feet," she says. When Grandma wants to sit back and hum and cut up potatoes, she has to get as comfortable as she can on a hard kitchen chair. So that is how come Mama brought home the biggest jar she could find at the diner, and all the coins started to go into the jar. Now the jar is too heavy for me to lift down. Uncle Stanley gave me a quarter. He had to boost me up so I could put it in. I'm going to pause right here so that you can make a prediction. What do you think is going to happen next? What do you predict will happen next? I'm going to show you this page on Seesaw. This is where you're going to put your prediction, okay? During the book, my prediction, what do you predict will happen? If you would like, you can draw a picture in the cloud, but you're going to type your prediction. I predict, okay? What do you predict will happen? You're going to put that prediction down now before you finish the story. So you should pause the story, pause this video, and make your prediction. I am predicting something right now. I am predicting that soon they are going to be able to buy a really nice chair. And I predict this because they have a lot of money here and they've been saving for a long time. Now, we're going to continue reading the story so we can check if this is what happened. So what actually happened? Okay. After supper, Mama and Grandma and I stood in front of the jar. "Well, I never would have believed it, but I guess it's full," Mama said. My mother brought home little paper wrappers for the nickels and the dimes and the quarters. I counted them all out and wrapped them all up. On my mother's day off, we took all the coins to the bank. The bank exchanged them for $10 bills. Then we took the bus downtown to shop for our chair. Ooh, I wonder if my prediction's right. We shopped through 4 furniture stores. We tried out big chairs and smaller ones, high chairs and less low chairs, soft chairs and harder ones. Grandma said she felt like Goldilocks and the 3 bears trying out all the chairs. Finally, we found the chair we were all dreaming of, and the money in the jar was enough to pay for it. We called on Ida and Uncle Sandy. They came right down in their pickup truck to drive the chair home for us. They knew we couldn't wait for it to be delivered. I tried out our chair in the back of the truck. Mama wouldn't let me sit there while we drove, but they let me sit in it while they carried it up to the door. Oh my gosh, look at that. I didn't realize they had a cat. Do you see that right there? We set the chair right beside the window with the red and white curtains. Grandma and Mama and I all sat in it while they took our picture. Now Grandma sits in it and talks with people going by in the daytime. Mama sits down and watches the news on it when she comes home from her job. After supper, I sit with her and she can reach right up and turn out the light if I fall asleep in her lap. The end. Now, I'm going to go back over here and I'm thinking about that prediction I made, right? And my prediction was that they would have enough money to buy the chair. And what happened? They had enough money to buy the chair. They looked at 4 different stores and they found the perfect chair and they had enough money to buy it. So now they sit in it and they all enjoy this new chair. Okay? So today your focus is going to be making a prediction before reading. Make sure you have that typed up. Your prediction during reading, and then tell me what happened. Was your prediction correct? I hope you enjoyed the story, and that's it. Have a great rest of your day.